David, hello, hope you're well. Let's start, if we can, with Borja signs. I think he went off yesterday in under 21s game with a little bit of an injury. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, he got a knock on his ankle. Luckily, it isn't a serious injury, but obviously it's quite painful and a little bit swollen as well. We will see if he can make it for the Swansea game, but it isn't a serious injury, so he will not take too long and will be back in training soon.
I can imagine, because of what he's just gone through, an injury, you kind of take an extra caution around him, particularly given it's his ankle.
No, at the end of the day, it's all about how quick it settles down. As I said, we make investigations. It isn't a serious injury. I think it was a little bit. He was a little bit anxious as well in the situation because it was not the best tackle which the opponent has done in this moment quite early in the game, and then he felt pain, and obviously it looks that he got a quite heavy knock on his ankle, and now we have to assess him and have to look how many days it will take.
Is there an element from his perspective? Obviously, he can't help injuries, but is there a period of adaptation to English football as well? Because I'm sure he's going to have to get used to that, isn't he? Defenders treating him in that way.
Yeah, but is fine. So he is a guy who takes it on chin. I think we have seen it yesterday as well. So he continues. Obviously, after the second one, it got quite difficult for him, and I was quite happy with the decision then not to continue, because then maybe it even swells more in a situation like this. So this is part of English football, of the game, especially for a quite mobile and a winger with quick feet as well, that this happens. But I think, and I've seen that he's quite good, used to it, robust as well, and he takes it on and continues, and this is the most important thing.
What about the rest of your squad? Are there any other issues heading into Wednesday's game?
No, everyone healthy. Everyone was in training today. Danny, as we know, played yesterday as well, so he recovered today, but he will be back in training tomorrow as well.
Is there an element, because of the fixture list being the way it is? I know you obviously made quite a few changes on Saturday pretty early on to obviously rotate and give players minutes and try and rest people here and there, but there's an element of management around the next two games, I guess, given the schedule that you've had.
To be totally honest, it's not about management. It's about that this players are super competitive week in, week out, every training, and obviously more or less every one of them deserved to start or to come on. Sometimes it works out for the one at the one game and for the other one in the next game. So we will make changes again on Wednesday. This is why we build a squad which is competitive, where we can give players game time and minutes, and then they are asked to push and to help and to keep the demands and the standard as high as they've done the whole time. And this is what we will do on Wednesday and on Saturday and till the end of the season.
Yeah, and I guess just to look back onto Saturday, your final reflections from that game. Obviously a very good win for your side. How have you assessed kind of the performance a couple of days later?
It is more or less, after I've seen the game back, exactly like I said after the game. It was maybe not the most entertaining football match, but it was a match with which, especially in the first half, I think we totally controlled. We had our moments where we should have scored and maybe should have been a little bit more clinical without creating lots of chances, but enough to go in front. Obviously, then second half we had a great save of Gunny when it was 0-0, and this is why we are happy to have him in our goal. But even then, after this situation, I think we deserve to score our goals and to win the game. So it will not be a win where we will discuss in 10 years' time about, but it is an important win for us, especially after the week which we faced before. The results which we got, the goals which we conceded, to win with a clean sheet, to win with a real good structure, with a real compactness which the team has shown, with a real spirit of fight and this togetherness to build up this proper compactness and fighting zone. And from there, we are able to create opportunities and control games. This is what we've shown, and this is what we showed on Saturday, and what we have to make on another level away from home against Swansea as well.
We could probably speak about 4 or 5 players, but I wanted to ask you a bit about Timo Werner. He seems to have started this season really well. Is that a case of having a player perfectly suited to the role that you want him to play? Because he looks to be really flourishing in that kind of attacking role that you want from your fullback.
Yeah, I think the idea of football which we play suits him, but it suits him as well that he knows exactly what to do in both periods of the game, in ball possession and without ball possession. He's very focused, very concentrate in the games. Sometimes in the past I've heard and I've seen sometimes as well that he has games or moments where he lost concentration and looks a little bit sloppy as well. We haven't seen this, maybe apart from one game in this season of him, and this is exactly how it should be. So he sets the standards very high as well for himself on the left back position, but for all of his competitors as well. And this is great to see, and he still has a lot of space to improve, but you are right, I'm quite happy with what I've seen from him so far, and now it's all about consistency. Make sure that you perform week in, week out, in some weeks 3 times a week, and in the moments where you only come from the bench as well, be then switched on for this half an hour where you need it. And this is exactly what I hope where he will make the next steps in terms of consistency as well.
Yeah, and that's the word I was going to mention, consistency. It feels like he's kind of found that in the opening portion of this season. Have you changed anything? Is there anything about his game that you've changed in order to find that consistency, the level of performance that we've seen so far from him by and large?
No, but at the end of the day, I think it's all down to the player. Obviously, we give them informations on boards. We try to give them the spaces where we think they can improve. We work a lot with them on the video, in the video meeting room as well as on the grass, and then it's all down to the players to take on board, to ask the right questions as well if something is unclear and my explanation was not good enough. And Dimi is an intelligent guy, so he is very self-critical as well, so he knows when he has done well and when not. And this is something very good. If you can judge your own performance right, this is the first step for improvement, and this is what he has. And yeah, I agree. He improved in terms of consistency quite well, and now it's to continue and to prove that you can show this not only 2 months, that you can show this more than only 2 months. And I'm quite confident that he will do.
He is, I think, one of the players who was out of contract at the end of the season. I mean, he's clearly a player that you feel is very important to the future here and how you want to play. I mean, will there come a point naturally where there's a conversation about his future here and extending that?
Yeah, of course, there will come a point. But I think we have October already, or it's still
October. Yeah.
Oh, we have October. Yeah, we have October now. Yeah, correct. Yeah. I think we all together make sure that we be focused on the games and everything what is in front of us, and not on contract situation in October. But again, I'm very happy with what I've seen from Timo so far.
Good. I'm still tired from the summer, I think. So that's good.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Wednesday is the 10th game of the season for you guys. It feels like a good block of games to kind of assess your progress. Where do you feel the team is? Are they close to where you would like them to be? Obviously, as a coach, you're always going to be wanting more, but are they around about where you would like them to be at this moment in time? They've obviously had that good run at the start, had some lows as well. The game that we won't mention anymore, and obviously you've kind of managed to find that height again. So is it consistency from here that you're looking for? How do you assess where you're at?
I think we all together have quite a good picture in our head, which looks similar, which is important, that the picture in everybody's head looks similar, that we know how we like to attack and how we like to defend. Do we do it always perfectly? No. There is space to improve. Do we had some games where we lost our structure and have seen that then we are very vulnerable. Yes, this should not happen as often as it happened in the first 9 games, but we are on a way where I think with the knowledge which the players already have, and with the hunger to improve, and with the hunger to do something special in this year, I have hope and confidence that we need to improve further. But it's only now 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months where we are in. I think first steps are done, but it's still early, isn't it? And we have to improve, we have to get better, we have to get more known to each other as well. But we are on a way where I'm very looking forward to the future.
I think at the moment you're the top scorers in the Championship, so at this stage that's a decent block of games now to show. You must be really pleased with the attacking aspects, even though much of the conversation in the last few weeks has centred around those strikers with Sargent and Barnes missing. Yeah,
we scored a lot of goals so far. I hope it continues. We look like that we can score from a lot of different positions, which is great, but you mentioned it, we are without our 2 top strikers since a few weeks, and for another few weeks or month as well. And for this we have to find solutions, and we are on the way to it. We found some of them already, but we have to continue, and this is the most important thing. And defensively, yes, that we conceded so many goals is nice. When I look on the stats in terms of goals conceded, even if the truth is as well, we conceded 10 in 2 games, but obviously we are better than this, and we have to show that we are better than this, and we have the desire and the hunger to show that we are better than this in terms of goals conceded, and that we like to progress scoring goals as well.
You must be pleased as well, because it feels like the goals are being shared around a little bit more this year. Was that a target of yours and your coaches to try and spread the goals around a little bit more this season?
No, it wasn't a target, but at the end of the day, the truth is when we all together started this game, when we were little kids, our biggest aim was to score. Maybe not for Shane Duffy at this moment, maybe he wanted only to. But in general, this is the idea, isn't it? And obviously you like to get different players in positions where they can score, and luckily they do at the minute.
Just looking ahead then to Wednesday's game against Swansea, I think they've had back-to-back 3-0 wins. It feels like a slight slow start, but it feels like they've hit a little bit of form just as they face you guys. What sort of game are you expecting on Wednesday night from them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 3-0 wins speaks for itself. A side which is in super form, where we have to be on our best. A side who is able to play in ball possession, technically very good football, who can create. Obviously they changed their shape 2.5, 3 games ago, and then since this moment it looks like that they found their form and their results, and I think there is not a big secret about them. We know exactly what we will face, and hopefully we find the right answers for the questions which they ask us. But to be totally honest, I said this beforehand, I'm more than confident if we do what we are capable of doing in ball possession, if we keep our structure, if everybody does on his position what he is asked to do, and we show exactly the same passion, hunger and desire that we've shown in the past, we have everything to get a good result on Wednesday.
Just 2 more, but when you go away from home, are you leaning more on those mental qualities that you've spoken about in this squad, that mentality and resilience, I guess, and our patience, like you had to show on Saturday? They all feel quite important attributes, particularly when you go away from home. Are you leaning more on those when you travel away?
Yeah, mostly when you are away from home, the opponent chases more the game, is my feeling, and this maybe is it why it's maybe away from home a little bit, let's say, easier to keep your structure, to keep your shape, to be focused on this. but sometimes it's only a feeling. So every game is different. Every game you have to play, and this is why I think it makes totally sense that we try to focus on ourselves, and that depends. That is irrelevant if it's at home or away, and this means we have to make sure that we look after ourselves and make everything right.
And final one, hopefully the weather's going to be a bit better than this on Wednesday, but you're going to have Norwich City fans travelling down on a Wednesday night, which is a very, very long way. Just your message to those guys who are going to be there supporting you on Wednesday night.
Yeah, so everyone who doesn't is a very, very good character, to be fair. No, seriously, our support, home and away, is outstanding. This is how it is, and to be fair, away since day one I arrived. I remember back, it was Preston and I think Coventry away. The first two away games. Preston is quite far away as well. We had unbelievable support, and this continued and in this season as well. So everywhere where we were, our away support was just great. Last week against Fulham, Wednesday night in the cup game, where it was clear and obvious that we will make a lot of changes. We had an unbelievable support, and this is something which gives us energy. This is the truth. So we are very lucky to have our supporters, our away supporters on board, and hopefully we can give them something that their journey back is a good one. And this is about us, and this is our aim. This is what we like to do. We had some good away performances in the past, not the best results in the past as well. But in general, we feel quite confident to play away from home as well. And at the end of the day, we have to show it. And we are really looking forward to this challenge. It will be a big task, a big challenge for us. Swansea is a good side, especially at home, good footballing side. We have to make sure that we really are ready for the hard yards, for the dirty yards, for the fight as well in this game. And then we will see what we can get out of it.
Good stuff. Thank you, David. Good luck Wednesday.
Thank you.